The 2015 Big Ten Player of the Year will take the mound for the Minnesota Golden Gophers in the bottom of the first. It's Sarah Groenewegen, a junior from White Rock, British Columbia. She grounded out to end that first inning at the plate for the Gophers, but she had an excellent outing on Friday.
Yeah, she sure did, Jason, and really baffling these Northwestern hitters for 5 innings. She only pitched 4, I guess, but giving up just 2 hits, no runs, 6 strikeouts, 3 walks, which I think she'd tell you was a bit high, 1 hit batter. But more of the same for Sarah Groenewegen. She has a 1.79 ERA, 17-4 coming in. Started 20 games for the Gophers, 15 of those 20 games complete games. So she's poised. She's used to going the distance, and Northwestern isn't able to jump on her early. She can really settle into this game. As you said, former Big Ten Player of the Year. She's a former second-team All-American player as well. Really one of the best pitchers, one of the best hitters as well in the nation. Hailing from Canada, and she could have a big day today if Northwestern, again, isn't able to jump on her early.
Yeah, we're talking about a legitimate stud. Started all 60 games last year for Minnesota, all of them at pitcher or at designated player position. And she's just the 3rd player in conference history to win the Big Ten Player, Pitcher, and Freshman of the Year awards.
Yeah, I mean, the list goes on and on. She also plays for the Canadian national team. She had an 8-inning, 7-strikeout game in the gold medal game back in 2015. So she's used to playing against national competition, this Northwestern lineup. Certainly not scaring her too much, although Northwestern has been quite potent at the plate so far this year. But she can pitch just about anyone. Last year, I believe, against number 8 Oklahoma, who's a national power, she pitched a complete game. So she's used to facing the best in college softball, and again, 15 complete games out of 20 games started. She's very used to going the distance, and she'll be looking to do that today for sure for Minnesota.
Groenewegen, a 1.79 ERA, 17-4 record. As you said, 23 appearances, 20 of them she has started, and 189 strikeouts. Did that in 129 innings. What a ratio.
Yeah, that's serious stuff out of the starter.
Sabrina Rabin leading off for the Wildcats. She floats one down the third base line, and it's just foul. Rabin got jammed a bit, but that could have paid off.
Yeah, she found the little hole there over the third baseman's head, playing her to bunt perhaps down the third base line, and almost floated it right over the third baseman Mackin's head. A little bit of side spin, however.
Mackin about 2/3 of the way up that third base line. And then Houlihan is in at first base as well. Rabin awaits the 0-1. Won't swing at this changeup. Was above the letters. And the count now 1-1.
And again, jumping on Groenewegen so important if you're going to have success against her. The more she can kind of settle in there out there at the circle, she could just get in a groove.
Rabin fouls that one off just under it. Now the count 1-2 for the sophomore. Rabin, an excellent player in her own right. 2015 Big Ten Freshman of the Year, an all Big Ten first team. Hitting .323 this season. Hits this one on the ground, right side. Flipped over to first, and it just barely beats Rabin for out number 1.
And that's about the only place Sabrina Rabin can hit the ball on the ground and not be safe at first. If she hits that to the left side, any amount of depth in that left side of the infield, she's probably safe. One of the fastest players in the Big Ten, but that time just a short toss over there from the second baseman Parlick. And a good start for Groenewegen out there. Surprise, surprise.
That'll bring up Krista Williams, the left fielder for the Wildcats. She'll take the first pitch, high and inside for ball 1. Williams, a junior from California, has started every game this season in the outfield for Northwestern. Currently 9th in the Big Ten in stolen bases. She saws off the second into the net, evens the count at 1-1. A lot of speed at the top of that Wildcat order between Williams and Rabin.
Yeah, and if you can get on base early on in this game and try to manufacture a run, it could be an early way to get to Groenewegen, but Rabin obviously unable to do so. If Williams gets on, though, she could be stealing, trying to take second.
The 1-1. Kind of a check swing from Williams that time. Will be a strike and move the count to 1-2. The wind is blowing pretty strong out to right field, so if you can get one up into the jet stream, maybe it gusts out of here. And the sun has come out. It's bound to get warmer as the day moves on. Another grounder right side. It gets through the hole. Parlick could not reach it. And the Wildcats have their first base runner of the afternoon.
Krista Williams could not have placed that ball with her hand any better. Just finding a perfect hole over there on the right side. The only hole really on the right side. And a man on base with just one out. Be interesting to see if Williams is stealing. Maybe not with your 3 and 4 hitters up now. But the Cats perhaps could manufacture a run here if Williams is able to get in the scoring position.
And the batter coming to the plate, and Andrea Filler is probably the toughest out in the Northwestern order, batting .361 this year. Here's the first pitch from Groenewegen. It's just inside for ball one. Filler, a senior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, has started every game this season at shortstop. And she started 2016 on an 11-game hitting streak. 63% of her hits this season have gone for extra bases. She swings at this one, a looper down the left field line. Gophers can't track it. 1-1 count. One man on at first base and one down here in the bottom of the first.
Pretty mind-blowing statistic to have 63% of your hits being extra base hits. Cats could certainly use one now. Got to believe that Williams would be headed home on a ball in the gap here.
All those extra base hits leads to a slugging percentage of .813 for Filler. It's 33rd in the nation. Groenewegen's last delivery high and outside, 2-1 count.
It says 30 on here.
She has 7 home runs, 30 RBIs.
Stealing on the pitches, Williams throw down, and they got her. Williams perhaps didn't get the jump that she wanted, and LeMay guns her down at second base for out number 2.
And like we talked about, Northwestern potentially could try to manufacture a run here, steal second, have a man in scoring position with just one out. But the flip side of that coin is now you have 2 outs in the inning, your rally pretty much done here in the first inning, and you have your 3 and 4 hitters now up. So definitely a risk reward, high risk out of Northwestern, and Coach Kate Drohan here in the bottom of the first. Fortunately, doesn't pay off for the Cats.
Bases have been emptied. 2-2 count for Filler. She saws one to the right side. Parlick able to extend her arm up and catch it for out number 3. The Wildcats go down in order in the first inning, and we remain scoreless through 1 at Sharon J. Drysdale Field.